Gentlemen, good morning or afternoon, wherever you're located. I've watched the first 4 or 5 episodes. I'd like to state that it is a high quality work, top to bottom. Mr. Huggins, I'd like to ask you the first question. What was it like crafting a world based on a true story about a legend in a town that you grew up in?
It was a dream come true. I think that's the best way I could describe that. That dream came with its own sort of challenges. You know what I mean? Shooting during a pandemic, doing a story on two people who are incarcerated. So you only get 10 minutes of phone time. You get to go see them for 6 hours. You can't take a pen or a pad. You know what I mean? These two brothers right now are estranged in their relationship to honor both of their POVs. And you know what I mean? Those are all challenges. And to do a show about my hometown, you know what I mean? Where my mother still lives. So if we don't do it right, I'm like, man, am I going to be able to go home for Christmas this year? You know what I mean? So no, it was a challenge, but it was to have done that. It was the most rewarding experience of my life. And that's straight up.
Word. Now, Meech, you are intimately connected, obviously, to this role. What were did you have some emotional hang-ups initially playing your father's role, knowing, what the eventual outcome was? What mental acrobatics did you have to go through to get this right?
Before I got the role?
Yeah.
Oh man, a lot. Just knowing it was life or death with me. I always say that just because I feel like if I didn't get the role and I was sitting here watching somebody else play my dad, that would be like the worst feeling in the world, bro. Like, so the whole time that whole year and a half while 50 had me in intense acting classes, as I was, even though people were telling me I'm doing good, I still had a thought back in the back of my head, like I could still be told no. Like I still couldn't be good enough, if they don't think I'm good enough. So that was really going through my head the whole time. And as I'm really trying to understand what acting is, because I really went to 50 put me in real good acting classes, real good acting school, and really helped me tie acting to my life, like real emotional. Once I could tie that to my real emotional life and really understood acting, I could do anything. I felt like I could do anything. And that's when I really felt like I really understood acting and buckled down and knew what I had to do, and I delivered and I came through.
Dope answer. Thank you. Da Vinci, your role as the younger brother, and you really put your foot up in that role. What were some of the circumstances or emotions that you were able to dig into and pull out to bring such a great performance? Because make no mistake, you do got to dig deep to get that sort of stuff. That's really you.
Absolutely, yeah. I just really went back to my childhood. I try not to flaunt or talk about the stuff that I've been through or try to have that show. You know what I'm saying? Because it's things that I'm not too proud of, at all. And just like Meech and Terry, they'll tell you that what they did, and other people affiliated with it, they're not proud of it. So I had to really just draw back from just hearing what my older brothers and cousins and friends, the situations that happened to them. So I had to go in that dark place. When I was in fifth grade, true story. I had dime bags and nickel bags of weed to go to school and sell. You know what I'm saying? I was 9 years old, and it's a true story. So it's like I just went back into that, and when I was in that realm and seeing the emotions of my cousins and my brothers when people were after them, what they were dealing with. Because I was a kid. My mom she was working the entire time. And it was 4 boys in the house. My grandma who didn't even speak English. So we just ran the shit. You know what I'm saying? It was times that I remember the cops came in. They thought our house was a trap house and shit like that. So I remember all that happening, and I was in a juvenile detention center. I went to court before at 13. So it's like I just had to pull and go back into that. And it was like, okay, now God has given me the opportunity to use this to tell a true story. So I'm like, so now, I'm using it with good purpose, so that's really what I had to just zone in and draw in from it, so that's really it.
Excellent answer. Thank you, Da Vinci. Now they're telling me to wrap up, but I got to just a brief, just to briefly ask, is there something that I may have neglected to ask you about the film that you'd like for my readership to know that I didn't ask for all of you?
I don't know. For me, our show is about love. It's about family. It's about brotherhood. And it really is about Southwest Detroit. You know what I mean? Because that's the area that made these brothers. And I think the family that they grew up in also helped the street family that they built. So that's why it was imperative that we, highlighted that to begin with. Go ahead, Meech.
Yeah, no, I just feel like everybody should understand what the story is really about. Understand this story is really about two brothers in a family that just, is ambitious, love one another, and go back that we can really turn into that little boy, little girl watching the story and really understand and go back to our lives and really tie a connection to it. That's why people are really gonna love this. And I know they're gonna love it.
Events.
Right. And honestly, I just want people when you watch this project just to see how intelligent these two brothers were, and to see like, what if they had a different shot at life? What if America didn't suppress them into this little corner? We're putting this confinement. What if they didn't have that? What if they had the same access as other kids? What would they have become? They could have been Steve Jobs.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like, to have that type of bond in the 80s, you know what I'm saying? And just how genius it was. I want people to really grasp that and just look past the flashing lights and the drugs and really understand the message. But in the interviews, we're gonna make sure they understand.
No doubt. Yo, you two young men are dope. Yo, keep doing this. Word.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome, man. You knocked it out. Mr. Huggins, thank you so much. I look forward to speaking with you in other works in the future. Gentlemen, have a good day.
Thank you. You too. Thanks, Ricardo.